In this video, we will see how to convert a regular expression to D of A. To convert any regular expression to D of A, there is no direct conversion. Like we can convert a regular expression to epsilon n of A, and then this epsilon n of A to D of A can be convertible. So there is no direct conversion. Convert the regular expression to epsilon n of A, and this conversion we have discussed in the previous video. Using Thomson's construction, we can convert a regular expression to epsilon n of A, and from that epsilon n of A we can convert it to a D of A. So for example, we will consider example over here, that is b a plus b the whole star. Now when you want to convert this regular expression to epsilon n of A, we have to start with the thing that is inside the brackets, that is a plus b. We have to construct epsilon n of A for a plus b. We always go with the basic step, and this is the conversion for a plus b. Either a or b we can reach from one state to other state. This is the epsilon n of A conversion for a plus b, and for a plus b the whole star we have to add one state in prior to it and one state after that. Using this epsilon transition we have to concatenate it. And for this empty transition, like when it is whole star, it includes epsilon or a single transition or any number of iteration. So this loop actually describes n number of iterations of a plus b, and this denotes an epsilon transition. Now this a plus b the whole star need to be concatenated with b in the prior to it. So this is b a plus b the whole star. We can connect it directly, or we can use an epsilon transition between it, b and an epsilon, and then we can have a transition like this, or we can connect it directly. So now this is the regular expression for given D of A. We have to make this as a starting state, the first state as a starting state and the last state as the final state, and we have to give some names for the state. I can start from this as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So the first conversion is over. Converting a regular expression to epsilon n of A is done. Now we want to convert this epsilon n of A to D of A. So when you want to convert an epsilon n of A to D of A, we start with the assumption that whenever it is a D of A, we should always have a state in a D of A. A starting state is mandatory, and we are going to assume that this A is the starting state of the D of A that we are going to consider, and we want to equate the starting state of D of A with this starting state of this epsilon n of A. So the starting state of this given epsilon n of A is 0. So we cannot directly start this as equal to 0. Okay, like the reason is, like when you consider a case when this 1, if you don't have a b over here, when it is just a plus b the whole star, then the starting state of the transition will be 1. In state 1, without any input we can move to the state 2, and from state 2 without any input we can move to the state 3 or 5, and again from 1 we can move to 8 directly. So we have so much of possibility of transition from a single state. Even without processing, without taking any of the input, we can reach all the states together. So any of the state, like when you want to process an input, if the input starts with A, we have a transition from 3. If the input starts with B, then we have a transition with 5. When there is no input at all, when epsilon is the input, then we can directly go to a final state. So much of possibilities are there from a state on an input. Like without any input, there is a possibility of moving over here. So when you consider this 1 as a starting state, in case if you don't have a b and you have a transition as just a plus b the whole star alone, then you'll have like when you want to equate this starting state of D of A with 1, then the input processing might either start with this place or this place. So much of states can act as a starting state in case of a epsilon n of A. So we have to club all the epsilon parts together and we have to consider it as a state. So there is that can be indicated using the E closure state. We call something as E closure. And you want to find E closure of a state, first we have to include the state as it is. And now I consider the state 1. When you want to find E closure of 1, first we have to include 1, and from this state 1 with epsilon as an input, wherever we can reach, we have to take all the possibility. So from 1 we can reach to state 2, and without any input from 1 we can reach to state 8, and again from 2 without any input we can take reach 3, and 2 to 5 without any input we can reach that, and from 8 there is no epsilon transition. So all these things we call it as an E-closure state. So epsilon, we are going to club all the epsilon path together and we are going to assign it as an E-closure set. So now when you want to find equate a starting state of D of A with the starting state of the given epsilon N of A, we have to find this epsilon closure of the starting state of D of A, epsilon N of A. So this is the first assumption. We are going to consider A is the starting state of D of A, and we are going to find this epsilon closure of starting state of this epsilon N of A, and we are going to combine both. So in this case, in this particular case, this E closure of 0 is, we have to include state 0 over here, and the state 0 on epsilon there is no transition at all. So we'll just close this. So only one state is there for this particular case in this A. In the starting state of 0, like always the 0 can act as a transition starting state. Like when you have input as B, we have a transition from 0 to 1. All the remaining cases we stay in this Q0 0 itself. There is no other path from the 0. There is no epsilon transition. So now we have a starting state of a D of A. So in case of a D of A, whenever you have a state, we should have a transition from the state on both the input. Here the input symbols are A and B. So we have to find the transition of state A on input as A and state A on the input as B. So when you want to find the transition of state A on the input as A, it can be found using E closure of the states that are included for A. Like A includes only one state, that is 0 on input as A. So we should find the transition from 0 on A, and we have to find the E closure state for it. So this will be E closure of from 0, when the input is A, there is no transition, so it is null transition. So in this case, suppose if you have a null transitions over here, we should not leave it that just like that, okay? So in case of a D of A, whenever there is a null transition, when you have a transition that leads to null, you have to create a dummy state, a non-final dummy state, and we have to redefine the transition of the dummy state on both the inputs. It might be either A or B. It is a self-loop condition. So we have to create a non-final dummy state when the input, like when you have a null path, when there is no path at all, we have to trace that to a dummy state. And from the dummy state on both the inputs, it has to phase itself. The reason is, even the dummy is a state. In case if it is a D of A, from each and every state on each and every input symbol, we should have a transition. So we are defining that to itself. Now we have found the transition of A on A, and similarly we have to find the transition of A on B. So that is E closure of state transition of 0 on A. Why we included 0 over here is A contains only one state of epsilon N of A, that is 0. Now 0 on input as B. We have to find the transition of 0 on B. 0 on the input as B, it goes to state 1. So it is E closure of state 1. So we already have found what is E closure of state 1. So that is 1, 2, 8, 3 and 5. So this transition of A, when the input is B, we have a set of transitions. When you have some subsets, give a new name for the subset. So from the transition of input A on B, it leads to so much of transitions of epsilon N of A. We are going to club all the states together, and we are going to give a new name as B for it. So now when you want to draw a DFA diagram, we have three states altogether. That is A, the starting state. A, when the input is A, it goes to D. So D on the transition of A and B, it stays in itself. And again A, when the input is B, it goes to B. So now we got a new state as B. We have to find the transition of B on A and again B on B. So it follows the same procedure. So here transition of B on A, we have to find the transition of all the states of B. All the epsilon transitions that are included for B on the input as A. We have to find the transition of it. So this will be, so here E closure of B is all the states that are included on this transition for B. When the input is A, we have to find the transition. So here in the given epsilon in FA diagram, there is only one A transition, that is 3. When the input is A, we have a transition. So here in this state we have 3. So 3 on A, it goes to 4. Now we want to find E closure of 4. First we have to include 4 and we have to find all epsilon path in this 4. So from the state 4 it goes to 7, and from 7 it goes to, with epsilon as a transition, it goes to 8, and again it goes to 2, and from 2 when the input is epsilon it goes to 3 and 5. Okay, so these are all the possible transitions that are included in E closure of 4. Now when you get some subsets of epsilon in a way, we have to compare that with the existing set. So these two are different, right? Here we have 4 and that is not there in this place. In this case we have to rename this set as using a new name. Now that will be C. And similarly we have to find the transition for B on B, C on A and C on B. So when you find this transition of B on B, you have to find the sets that are included, states that are included in B, in this B as the transition. So here we have only 5 on B, we have a transition to 6. So we have to find E closure of 6. Again it is like the same procedure. First we have to start with 6 and we have to find this transition of 6 on epsilon as 7, 7 on epsilon as 8 and 2, 2 on epsilon as 3 and 5. So we have a subset again. We have to compare this subset with the existing subsets, but this is a different one. Here we have 6, 6 is not there in both the state. So we have to give a new name for it, that is D. So similarly we have to, D is already included, we can have the state name as E. So now we have two different states, that is C and E. We have to find the transition of C on AB and E on AB. Now this is the transition from state C on the input as A and B. So this is the set of state that we have included for C, and here we have state 3. 3 is there. So 3 on input as A, it goes to 4, that is E closure of 4. We already found this E closure of 4 and we have given a name as C. And similarly we have to find this same set of states, this is 4, same set of states on the input as B. Again we have 5 over here, 5 on input as B, it goes to 6. The remaining transitions are taken as null. 4 on B, there is no transition, 7 on B, no transition, 8 on B, also no transition. So all this set on input as B, there is no transition, only we have this 5 on B as the input, we have a transition to 6. So E closure of 6, we have already found a subset and we have given the name as E. And similarly we have to repeat for E on A and E on B. So finally we have found all the transitions. Now the DFA can be given, this is the DFA as per the thing that we have found already. We have defined a diagram like this DFA diagram. A, when the input is B, it goes to B. When the input is A, there is a null transition, so we are going to create a dummy state for it, and we are going to trace on both the input as A and B. We trace in this dummy state itself, and the remaining states are considered as per the finding that we have done, and this is the transition table for it. Now this is not a complete and final DFA. The reason is a DFA will have a starting and final states. So the final states are not included over here. To define the final states, each and every state of this DFA, it is assigned with some states of this epsilon in FA. So we have to find what is the final state of epsilon in FA, and whichever state of this DFA contains that epsilon in FA final state, that will be considered as the final states of the DFA. So here in this DFA, 8 is the final state. So we are going to check each and every state of the DFA. A is assigned with 0 and D, it doesn't have any of the state, and B, we have some set of states where 8 is included. So we can consider this B as a final state. And again, if it is an NFA or DFA, we can have n number of final states, and we are going to check with C. Again, state C contains 8 inside, so C can also act as a final state. And again state E, it also contains E, so this can also act as a final state. So as a whole, we have 3 possible final states. So we are going to mention all the state B, C and E as a final state. This B, C and E as a final state. So now this is your final DFA, and when you want to minimize it, one more shortcut if you want, I'll say you like here we have 3 final states and their transitions are same. All the final states, when the input is A, it goes to C. When the input is B, all goes to E. So we can club all this B, C and E together into a single state as B, C and E, and we can make this as a only final state, and the remaining transitions will remain as it is. We'll have A, this dummy state will be there. A, when the input is B, it goes to B. B is included in this place. So we can have a transition like this. When the input is A, it goes to this dummy state. And dummy state we have or never ever include this dummy state as a final state. Since dummy is a rejection point, so it is a self loop, like we always stays in this space. Okay. And B, when the input is all this BCE, when the input is A, we are going to C, and when the input is B, again we are going to stay in this E itself. So when the input is B or A or B, we stay in this place itself. Now this is your minimized final D of A. D of A for the given regular expression. Thank you.